Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our event on filing comments. Our event is being recorded and broadcasted. I am Melissa Lozano with the Office of Public Participation. I'm the Education and Logistics Advisor. Today, we will demonstrate how to file comments at FERC, specifically for rulemakings. All materials presented will be available on our website and on FERC's official system of record, eLibrary, under OPP's docket number AD 2211. We created AD 2211 to post information about this workshop and future OPP workshops. So please subscribe to our Fundamentals to Participating in FERC Matters docket. Throughout our webinar, we will post information as to how to reach us. I will now turn it over to OPP's Director, Ellen Swanson-Katz, and Chairman of FERC, Richard Glick.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our first in what will be a series of workshops on public participation here at FERC. The OPP team is excited to see so many of you signed on today, and this is the beginning of a conversation. Certainly not the end. In fact, we will try to be conversational today. We expect lots of questions. We are focused on comments today, how to file a comment, so we will focus on that and also try to create some dialogue, put questions in the Q&A. I'm really delighted that FERC's chairman, Rich Glick, is here to say a few words. Chairman, thank you for your support of OPP and for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Alan. And I'm going to be brief because people didn't turn in to hear me speak this afternoon. But just wanted to say a couple words, and that is, this is exactly what the Office of Public Participation is all about, right? This is where the office was created and established in order to actually get the public to participate, because our decision making requires input from obviously a lot of stakeholder parties, but other affected parties, other affected interests as well. And it's important for folks to file comments. And now one of the reasons we created the Office of Public Participation is because not everyone can afford to pay a high-priced Washington, D.C. law firm, for instance, that follows these matters for a kind of minute-by-minute basis and knows how to file comments. A lot of people don't. And so I would just encourage you all to follow intently, and to the extent you can, to the extent you're interested in proceeding to participate, submit comments, because those comments will make our decision making better, and that's what this is all about. So again, thank you, Ellen, for doing this today, and look forward to hearing from everybody.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman, and I will turn it back to Melissa. Melissa, I think you're on mute.
Today, we're really appreciative that Melissa Thomas, our FERC online support expert, will join us to help answer your questions. And we will get to those at the end of this event. So please submit your questions to oppworkshop@ferc.gov and in the WebEx Q&A window. We have already received some questions. We will answer the ones that are related to this scope. And if we don't get to all your questions today, we will make sure to respond in the coming days. So our agenda for today is, first we will cover some FERC fundamentals and FERC Online. We will then demonstrate how to file comments in a rulemaking and how to create a FERC account. We will have a live demonstration. Then we will cover some top 10 tips for FERC Online. And finally, as mentioned, we will end with a Q&A section, and that will take us to the end of our event. So the first step to participating in FERC Matters is understanding or figuring out if your comments, your issue belongs at FERC. So what are FERC matters? FERC makes decisions about rates, meaning prices and services for electric transmission in interstate commerce and electric wholesale power sales in interstate commerce, about rates and services for natural gas pipeline transportation, for storage facilities, and for LNG facilities, for certificates for new facilities and abandonment of existing facilities. It also makes decisions about hydroelectric dam licensing and safety, about rates and services for oil pipeline transportation, for certification and decertification of qualifying facilities under PURPA. FERC does not have a say over, does not make decisions over local distribution of electric energy and the rates, terms, and conditions of such distribution. It does not have a say over sales of electric energy to end users. That's to individuals and businesses, and the rates, terms, and conditions of such sales. This typically includes questions about an electric bill or a question on the rate shown on a bill. FERC does not have a say over what generation gets built, including the choice, siting, and construction of generation. But it does have a say on hydroelectric generation. FERC does not have a say over wholesale rate recovery of, FERC does have a say over wholesale rate recovery of generation costs. FERC also does not have a say on what transmission gets built, including the choice, siting, and construction of transmission facilities, except for it has authority over backstop transmission lines. It also has authority over wholesale rate recovery of transmission costs. So it can be a close call to figure out if FERC has jurisdiction. So please contact us. We're happy to help you figure that out. And also, if we don't have jurisdiction, then we can provide direction as to where to address your comment or your concern. So let's assume that your comment belongs at FERC. Then the best way to participate is by including your voice in the official record. That is, information formally submitted in a proceeding with a docket number. Including your points in the official record, called eLibrary, is the most effective way to affect the Commission's decisions and be part of energy policy developments. FERC must make its decisions based on the record and cannot consider information outside the record when taking its decisions with its orders. While people write to commissioners, OPP, or other FERC offices, only those comments filed in the official record for a proceeding can and will be considered. In a few minutes, we will have a live demonstration of how to file comments to the record in a rulemaking proceeding. But before I do that, I want to define what a docket is. A docket is a formal proceeding before the Commission. A unique number is assigned to each individual proceeding. Docket number consists of the docket prefix, a sequential number, and a sub-docket. A sub-docket denotes a phase of the proceeding. You always need to know the docket number to participate in a proceeding. You can contact us to help find that docket number or to find an official record in eLibrary. FERC can make decisions in two types of proceedings. There's a generic proceeding and a party-specific proceeding. A generic proceeding is industry-wide. It is called generic because the results have an industry-wide applicability. The second type is a party-specific proceeding that relates to an application filed with FERC. It is called party-specific because it typically affects a single jurisdictional company and its customers. FERC's actions are in response to the request from a jurisdictional company, its customer, or other market participant. Examples of party-specific proceedings are when FERC responds to a company's request for a certificate to build and operate a natural gas pipeline, or a request for authorization to site a liquefied natural gas or LNG export-import terminal. It's also when it responds to a request for licensing of the construction and operation of a hydroelectric project, or a request to change rates, terms, and conditions of services. So a common industry-wide proceeding is a rulemaking. This typically starts with a notice of proposed rulemaking, which we call a NOPR. A NOPR is a document issued by FERC describing proposed changes to FERC's current rules and regulations that are under consideration, and specifically invites comments on the proposed rules. It will consider these comments before making a final determination. A final determination is made in a subsequent order called a final rule. So how to participate in these types of proceedings? In a generic proceeding, you participate in the official record by filing comments. And this gives you a voice on proposed policies related to infrastructure, energy planning, siting issues and impacted communities, wholesale energy prices, and energy markets and reliability. In a party-specific proceeding, you participate in the official record by filing an intervention, which makes you a party to the proceeding and preserves your right to seek rehearing before the commission and court review of the commission's final order. You can also just file comments in favor or against the filing, or a request for rehearing, which asks the commission to revisit its decision. So when you're getting ready to file your comments, there are several online FERC applications that come into play. There is eRegister, where you create and register your email account. There's also eFiling, where you can file and upload a document to the official record. There's eSubscription, where you subscribe to a proceeding. There's eLibrary, which includes the official record. There you can view all proceedings and all records. And there's eComment, which is different than eFiling. eComment allows you to submit quick comments on infrastructure projects. This is not for rulemakings and not for interventions. So next, we'll go ahead and share a live register to create a FERC account and how to file a comment in a rulemaking using eFiling. Please give us a minute while we load up the live demonstration, and we will have a video available on our website and on FERC YouTube that walks us through e-registering and e-filing. Thank you.
Thanks, Melissa. While we're waiting for Linda's screen to come up, yeah, I just want to reiterate, I mean, this is, it's hard to, like, I want you to focus on the live demonstration because we can show you how to do it. It can be sort of, it's something you may want to go back to. So we've created a video that we will make available after the presentation. It sort of references this as well. So I see that Linda is coming up right now, and we're going to show you how to file a comment using the e-file comment.
Yes, good afternoon. So I'm going to demonstrate.
Linda, we're still waiting for you. Oh, here we go. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm going to demonstrate how to register and also to file an eComment. So to begin with, we're going to go to FERC.gov, which is the FERC website. And then I'm going to go to FERC Online, which is a link to the left. Once you select FERC Online, to the far right, there's a e-register menu. And you're going to come to the screen that's going to allow you to enter your information in. And you're going to populate your prefix, first name, middle initial. You want to make sure that you enter the email address. That's the email address that you're going to convert with FERC. And you're going to confirm the email address. You're going to continue entering their information, and you want to make sure that you proceed to full registration, which is the next button. After you do that, you're going to see additional screens to be able to add your address. Once all that information is completed, you'll receive an email. You'll click on the link, and that'll be a confirmation that your email is accepted. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to log in. So once I have received my email, I'm going to log in with that email that I've registered with FERC. I'm going to use my account. And I'm going to click Login. I'm going to come to the FERC Online screen, and I want to click eFiling. Once I'm in the eFiling screen, I'm going to see some categories to the left. And for comments, we're going to select General. And in the middle, we're going to select the comments on rulemaking, RMPL, and AD dockets. Once I select that, I'm going to click the next button. And this is where I'm going to enter the docket associated to the filing. I'm going to put in my docket number and click search. And when I see the listings, I'm going to click on the blue cross. And that's going to register that docket. And then I'm going to click the next button to move to the next screen. And then I want to load the file that I'm going to add my comments. So I'm going to click Browse and load my document. And it's in the selected file field, and I want to click Upload. And I can see that my file is displayed on the screen. I have a choice of having this be privileged or CII. It's going to default to public. I'm going to leave this as public, and I'm going to go ahead and click the next button. Now, I can file on behalf of another party or company or as an individual. If I put in a company name, I would just click search and the company options would come up, but I'm going to click as an individual and then click next. And then I want to make sure I put in that contact email that I used to register. And I'm going to be the signer, so I want to make sure I click add as signer. That's going to come up too. And then I'm going to click the next button. And I can see that it's defaulting to say comments under this docket. I could add additional descriptions. I have up to 250 characters, but I could add additional information. This is what's going to appear in eLibrary when we do a search for this comment in eLibrary. I'm going to click next. And then I can review all the information on the screen. Once everything looks okay, then I can click submit. Okay, once you've clicked submit, you're going to receive a screen that says it's been accepted. Your email will also show that that filing's been sent in. So I'm going to go and show you how you're going to be able to view this comment now that it's been sent in to FERC. I'm going to go to eLibrary. And elibrary.ferc.gov is on our public website, elibrary.ferc.gov. We're going to default to the general search, and I could just enter that docket in that I used for my filing. And I'm going to show you another way also to find that comment as well. So I put the docket in, I can click search, and you're going to see the description display. Another way you can also view the comments, I'm going to go back to general. You can put the docket in, but under the document type, I could actually put in comments as a document type, comment protest, and I could search that way too. So either the docket number or the comment. I'm going to take the sentence right. So again, I put in comment protest. And it'll display the comments and the description. So that's how you can view your comment once you've submitted it to FERC by going into eLibrary.
Thank you so much, Linda. Again, we know that was, a number of different steps, and the video will be available after this. We will make it available on our website and make it available to people who've registered, along with some other information after the close of the webinar. Also, continue to send your questions in. Put them in the Q&A. We will have ample time to answer those questions once we finish our presentation. We still have a few more items we want to cover. We're just switching slides now. And just to make sure folks understand what the Office of Public Participation is and what we do, we're the newest office of the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, and our function is to support you, to support members of the public, helping bring forth their voices into FERC. And so we'll continue to do a series of webinars like this, and we continue to be available to support you with questions outside of the webinar and helping you file comments and get information and so forth. So thanks, Melissa.
Sure, thank you. Great. So next, we will share some top tips for navigating FERC online. This is with the hope that we will save you time and unnecessary frustrations. These are common errors and why folks usually call FERC online. And we will also email you these top 10 tips. So the first one regarding e-registration is if you can't find your email notification to finalize the activation of your account, first check your junk mail and spam folder. But if you still can't find it, please contact or call FERC online support at ferc.gov, and they can activate your account in the internal systems. Another one is that there's 2 levels of registration. There's full registration and partial registration. For uploading comments, you want to fully register. So if you're struggling and not able to upload comment, it could be that you did not fully register. You can go back to FERC Online and edit your registration to full, or you can call FERC Online and they can help you complete it. They can fix it for you. Another one for e-registration is that your account needs to be recertified every year. You will receive an email that asks you to recertify your account. If you don't click on it, then it deactivates, and you'll need to call FERC Online to reactivate it. So recertify it. Next are eComment tips. So when you're e-commenting, e-register is not required. But if you do have a fully registered account, then you need to log into it before you use eComment. Another one for eComment is if you're trying to submit the text you typed in your comment, but the system's not letting you, it could be that you have special characters or image tags, which are instructions for how to display an image, like a signature or logo. You want to make sure you delete those so that the text comment can upload. eComment is different from eFiling. eComment is for quick comments to certain infrastructure proceedings. It's not for rulemakings and it's not for intervening. Next, a tip for eFiling. So unlike eComment, in eFiling, you need to have an actual file that you upload. So have your file ready to upload. If you're filing an intervention, then there is the option to select intervening without uploading a file. That is called a docless intervention. For e-subscription, when you subscribe, before you subscribe to a docket, consider whether you want to receive all records in that docket, because you will receive not only what the commission issues or what the company applicant files, comment that is placed in that docket and in sub-dockets. Another way of staying on top of the proceeding and up to date on it is by periodically checking eLibrary. Another common error that folks face is that when they go to click on the link in an email notification that they receive from eSubscription, the link doesn't work. That could be because your organization has some network security rules and may have re-encrypted the link. So FERC online staff can assist you with checking that your eSubscription is correct and helping you troubleshoot with that. Finally, you can e-subscribe to all of FERC press releases. This is a good way of getting notices about commission rulemakings and other major commission issuances. So that completes our top 10 tips. Again, we will email you these in a short version. And now we can turn it over to my colleague, John, in the Office of Public Participation, who will moderate our question and answer piece. So thank you.
Thanks, Melissa. Just as John is coming on, just a couple things I wanted to note that stood out for me for the top 10 tips. One is, if you're like me and you tend to ignore those email alerts that your subscription is expiring, pay attention when it comes from FERC. And unlike when you're getting a password and they encourage you to use special characters, cannot use special characters, right, when you are filing comments through this method. And anticipating a question, if you want to file, if you want to subscribe to FERC press releases, there is a checkbox on the e-subscription process. So thanks so much, Melissa. John, take it away. MC the comments.
Great. Thank you, Ellen. And good afternoon, everybody. My name is John Pacanum. I'm a member of the Office of Public Participation staff. We have quite a few comments in the Q&A, and we have a few others, I think, that came in over emails. So I think we have some time here. I'm going to go ahead and get started off with a question that we received via email. Is what does the second P in WorkshOPP OPP stand for? Ellen?
That's a great question. It's just a play on the word OPP, right? So we're inserting ourselves in the middle of this process. So just our attempt to be creative.
I think this is one of the more important questions is who do you contact if you are attempting to file comments and keep receiving error messages? Melissa Thomas, can you help us with that one? How about Melissa Lozano?
Sure. So yes, if you're struggling with uploading your comments or any of the FERC online applications, you can do so. You can get the best kind of help you can get is from FERC online at ferc.gov or calling FERC online, and we'll display that contact information in our next slide, and it's also on our website. And Melissa Thomas, who is probably logging in, is trying to get her camera going. She is one of our experts, so she'll be behind the scenes helping you with any online issue you have.
Yeah, so I
Melissa
think
Thomas.
Melissa is
Oh,
working
go ahead,
to get
Ellen. Sorry.
herself off- No, I think Melissa's working to get herself off mute. I don't know if she's there yet, but Melissa Thomas, chime in when you are. We'll circle. Oh, there you go. Go ahead, Melissa. What do you have to add?
Yep, I'm here. I was just want to add that if you do run into any technical issues while you're trying to submit your comments, be sure to do a screenshot of the error message that you're receiving and just give brief details of the issue. And you can send it to FERC Online Support at ferc.gov, and we will assist you.
Great. Thank you, Melissa.
Mhm.
So our next question is, are comments submitted using eComment part of the official record, and are they answered? Ellen, do you want to take a shot at that one?
Yeah, comments submitted through eComment are part of the official record. That I think we should draw a contrast between comments or thoughts that you may email to the commissioner, email to OPP. Comments have to be submitted in the record in order to be through eComment or eFile in order to be considered part of the record. And I think that's an important question as to what happens to comments, because I know we get that a lot. Commissioners have encouraged, provided encouragement for comments and the impact they have in several recent committee meetings. And the rulings do frequently cite to the comments. I would note that sometimes there will be hundreds of comments in a particular docket. And so these comments can be grouped together, sometimes in the response if these address the same issue. So hopefully that answers that question.
Thank you, Ellen. Are comments emailed to the OPP inbox or any other FERC helpline considered filed comments? Melissa? Are they?
No. They are not considered filed comments, but OPP and FERC Online, we are here to help you figure out how to get them into eLibrary. And this webinar and the video we will post will walk you through how to do that.
Okay. Thank you, Melissa. Now I'm going to start reading some questions from the question and answer section. How can I get OPP or FERC staff to view my comment once submitted? Ellen, you sort of touched on that a little bit already. Do you want to respond to that one?
Yeah, well, first of all, every constituent, every person who reaches out to OPP through our email or through a phone call or is referred from other offices, we respond to everybody. Everyone that seeks a response. Sometimes it's just a thought. But if you seek a response, you will get something from a human being at OPP. We respond to every inquiry. But that's different than getting your comments into the record so that they can be considered as part of rulemaking or as part of a particular proceeding. If you need help doing that, that's when you should contact OPP, and we will, again, we can, as Melissa just reiterated, we can help you walk through this process if you need help after this webinar.
Okay. Melissa, we got a question. Are these pages available in different languages? Can you talk a little bit, Melissa Lozano?
So FERC and Office of Public Participation is working on being able to translate some documents, but currently we don't have these types of help documents in a different language.
I will say that there
But, you know,
was, yeah, sorry, Melissa, there was Spanish, some Spanish noticing only in the Office of Public Participation docket. We are certainly hoping to make our issuances more available in other languages in the future. It's just a capability we don't currently have.
Thank you, Ellen. We got a comment about Linda's presentation. Why didn't Linda's comments show up when she searched for them? Is there a lag? Melissa Thomas, do you mind responding to that one?
actually, sorry.
Go ahead, Melissa.
We're just doing a demonstration and we did it quickly. So there should not be a lag. They show up pretty fast. You know, as soon as you get the success window, that comment is already in eLibrary.
And then folks will get a email verification, won't they, Melissa, once they file their comments? Melissa Thomas, is that correct?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay.
Once you submit, you'll get a notification after you submit in eComment, yes.
Okay. Melissa Thomas, this might be another question for you. How can I set up an alert for generic industry-wide decisions? Is there a way to do that?
No, the only way you can set up alerts is by docket numbers. Now, unless you want to subscribe to press releases, docket by docket number is the only way you can set up those alerts.
Somebody would have to e-subscribe to each individual docket to follow.
Yes.
Okay. And then you said they could subscribe to press releases as well?
Yes, press releases, you don't need a docket number. You can just hit that button and sign up for press releases.
It can
Ellen,
be
did you want to
kind
add
of-
to that?
Yeah, it can be kind of complicated to figure out what a docket number is. You know, again, if you're struggling, you can always contact OPP. But Melissa Thomas, is there a way to find a docket number, or if somebody has an idea of the title of the proceeding, or is it not quite that straightforward?
Yes, you can use eLibrary. I believe it's the word text search, and you can just type in the org name or the project name and just see what kind of hits you get on it. You're going to get a lot of hits depending on how often that company has filed. And if you want, you can just take a look of some of the documents that's been submitted to FERC and just see if that's what you're looking for. And it'll kind of give you the docket, it'll give you the docket number in that document. And if that don't work out for you, you can always email us at FERConlinesupport@ferc.gov and we'll help you out with that.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Well, I want to add that there is a video on eLibrary, on FERC's eLibrary, that explains how to use a library search. And so you can, there's a lot of filters you could apply to your search. For example, you can filter by RM, which would give you the rulemakings and the time frame. And you can select the commission issuance button. So that way you only see what the commission issued and not like all the comments for each rule. So I invite you to view the video that exists on eLibrary that could be really useful.
That's a great point, Melissa. There's a lot of helpful videos and information in eLibrary and also on the OPP section of the website. So we're continuing to make more educational materials available all the time because we realize this can be complicated and confusing at times. So continue to work on that. And having folks like Linda and Melissa who are always available to help is a huge benefit that everyone should feel free to take advantage of.
Our next question is from Melissa Thomas. Melissa, why are we required to recertify annually? Why isn't the default for an account to stay open?
A lot of accounts are not being used too often. And so what FERC want to do is try to eliminate those accounts that are not being used. Sometimes people have more than one registration, and when they go to log in, they have so many accounts that they're not sure which one to log into the file. So it's just to kind of keep track of all the accounts that are registered and make sure users are active with those accounts.
For hydro projects, is it okay to submit comments to both the specific subdocket and the larger docket, or is it better to submit only to the specific subdocket? Melissa Lozano, do you have any thoughts?
For which type of proceedings you said?
For hydro projects. Can you
Melissa, I'll
submit to
take this
both?
one. I'll
Okay,
take
go ahead,
this one.
Rachel.
I come from the hydro program. So the 000 docket is the very first docket created when a preliminary permit is issued. And that is a generic docket that covers filings that haven't been docketed yet. If you are filing in one specific proceeding, then file in the appropriate subdocket.
Great, thank you, Rachel. See, I'm still working through our comments here, trying to make sure I address everyone. I apologize, I'm skipping around a little bit as I go through, and if we run out of time, our intent is to respond to all of you via email later today or possibly tomorrow, but I think we should be able to get through most of these this afternoon. So let me just look through here, see what else we can ask here.
And also, if you think of things after we are off the webinar, you can still use the email address or reach out to our FERC, our OPP information. We'll show that later. So like I said, this conversation will continue.
So I think the next question is from Melissa Thomas. Do companies or parties have to be pre-registered with FERC as well? Is it just individuals, or does everyone have to pre-register to file comments?
Yes, everyone has to pre-register to file a comment as an individual or on behalf of an organization.
Thank you. Is there a reason FERC can't have an option for one-step uploading of comments like at fed.gov or other agencies? Melissa Thomas, that might be one for you.
We may have to come back to that one. I have to get more information on that
Okay.
one.
See here as I go through.
You know, I have a
Watch.
question. That's come up, John, on our chat here. And I think it's a question. I think it's a question for Melissa Thomas, which is about personal information when filing comments. How confident can we be that our personal information is secure? I know that's something on a lot of people's minds these days.
With your with your registration information, that's not made public. So nobody can see that information. That's all internal information. So you don't have to worry about that. Far as including your personal information within a comment, that's something you want to avoid.
And I note that our privacy notices are posted on FERC.gov, and it describes how we treat information. So if you want more information, you can go there.
Okay, will this webinar be available to view after the meeting? Melissa Lozano?
Yes, well, we will have a video for YouTube that walks us through creating a FERC account and uploading comments to a rulemaking. And I think we will post this webinar. Yep. And yes, and we'll also email you some tips that we mentioned and also have a one-pager of those tips on our website. Again, the docket number AD 2211 is a great one to subscribe to. We will put these materials there too, so you will get an email notification via that e-subscription if you subscribe to it, and also an email that we'll send to registrants of the WebEx.
Okay. So there's a question here. Most of the public comments should be handled through eFile, not eComment. Is that correct? Maybe we should revisit the difference between eFile and eComment Melissa Thomas, do you have some thoughts?
With eComment system is for individuals. You can use eComment to file. The only thing, the difference with eComment and eFiling, with eFiling, you have to attach a PDF or Word document to submit your comments. And then you have to complete the full registration before you can get started. With eComment, you can do the quick registration steps, and then you can type in your 6,000 characters to submit your comments. And both processes post these comments on the eLibrary webpage.
I just want to add that eComment is only for a few fixes or types of filings that relate to infrastructure projects. So the P, the PF, and other ones. There's a document that lists what each prefix stands for, but eComment think infrastructure projects, not rulemakings, not interventions, and not energy markets.
Okay, thank you, Melissa. Our next question is, what happens if you miss the deadline to file a comment in a case matter? Can you make a request to file your comment late? Ellen, do you want to take a shot at that one?